Students, a very good morning to all. In continuation of the video lectures, today we are going to do How Much Land Does a Man Need by Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy, he was a Russian writer. His name in Russia was Count Lev Nikhailovich Tolstoy and referred in English as Leo Tolstoy. Tolstoy was born on 9th of September 1828. He was a novelist, short story writer, playwright, essayist, and a philosopher. Leo Tolstoy was nominated for Nobel Prize for Literature from 1902 to 1906 and also for Nobel Peace Prize in 1901. But the irony is he never won Nobel Prize. His masterpieces are War and Peace and Anna Karenina. He was married to Sophia Behers in 1862, and Tolstoy died in 1820 on 20th of November. How much land does a man need? This short story was written in 1886. The story's settings are that of Russian rural life. It is the story of a peasant named Pahom. The story begins with a discussion among two sisters. The elder one is married to a tradesman, and the younger one to this farmer Pahom. They are discussing about the benefits of rural as well as city life. Pahom, the farmer, who was overhearing the conversation, got instigated by his wife's statements, as his wife mentions that the like uh, the poor people or the peasants in the rural life don't have much land, so that is the pity of their life, and that is the main concern of their life. Pehom, who was overhearing this, like challenges the devil. He says that if he had enough land, he would not fear the devil. So in this way, he challenges the devil, and the devil overhears it and tries to test him. Now, Pahom got so many opportunities to get more land. So, see what happens. He manages to buy land first from a landlady who was selling her land, and Pehom approached her. He feels happy. He buys the land. He anyhow manages to pay first half as cash and the other half he settled to pay later on. He feels happy till problems enter in his life because of the conflicts with neighbors. Although it happens that he has to follow suit and loses because of no evidence against Simon, who cuts lemon trees from his farm. Just because of the problems, he tries to settle down to another locality, and he happens to meet a merchant from beyond the Volga. The merchant asks for a stay to Pahom one night, and in the conversation tells Pahom that people beyond Volga are living happily in a commune. And as soon as one person joins the commune, he gets 25 acres of communal land. And in addition to that, there is common communal land, fertile land, which they all use to sow weeds. Pehom was very happy to hear. He visits the place, finds out all the things, and then sells the land which he bought from the landlady and moved with his family to the land beyond the Volga. And as soon as he joins the commune, he gets 125 acres of communal land. But after some time, again, like tensions arise because of the peasant scarcity of fertile land. Each one wants to sow the wheat on fertile land. And in this process, they fight with each other, and his life again is full of tensions. Now, once it happens, a peasant was passing by and he stays at Pehom and tells him about Bashki's land. He tells him that Bashkis, it is an ethnic group and they have plenty of land. Anyone just can visit them, like present them some expensive gifts, and in return, they give that person as much land as someone wants. So Pehom makes up his mind to go there and starts for the place. He, on the way, he buys some presents for the Baski's chief, such as fur gown, tea, and some other things. Finally, he reaches to Bashki's land, and it was decided that they will start in the morning, pay home. Like it was like the condition for Pehom that he has to come back to the place from where he has started. It was the condition. So Pehom fails to do so. He was not able to reach the decided spot before sunset, and in this attempt dies, and his whole effort was in vain. So it is the life of Pehom, the farmer. See how he puts an end to his life. So these are the characters in this story. How much land does a man need? The protagonist is Pehom, the farmer, the peasant. His wife's elder sister, who visits his younger sister in the countryside. Devil, Pehom's neighbors. Old lady, merchant from Volga, and Bashkir chief. The major dominant theme of this story is greed. Greed because Pahom was over ambitious to get more and more land. He was not contented at all, not satisfied of what he was having. So, in his excessive desire to get land, he loses his life. Now, come to the symbols in this story. Devil. Devil is not any such like devil with hoops and horns, no physical entity it is. It is a symbol for evil, for temptation, evil of greed, and the other symbols are like sunrise, sunset, in the condition to Pehom, which was mentioned by Bashkir chief. He mentions that Pehom has to start at sunrise and has to return to the same spot before sunset. So sunrise stands for the birth or this beginning of man's life, or sunset stands for death or end of a person's life. So This very title of this story is ironical. Irony, you know what is irony? Irony is when whatever like the audience know, it's something different which is told in the story or in the narration. So the title, How Much Land Does a Man Need, is ironical. Although Pahom tries to get more and more land, but the irony is as the audience get to know or the readers get to know that this much greed is not or this much land one does not need, one needs all is 6 feet from head to foot. And another irony is basket chief. Baskets, although they are having so much land, but does not they don't value that land as much as Pehom valued. See the quotes in the story. Yes, and it is also your assignment. You have to explain these quotes of this story. All right, we will have a tussle. I will give you land enough, and by means of that, I will get you into my power. This statement is made by the devil. The devil, after overhearing conversation or the statement of Pehom, answers, responds, all right, we will have a tussle between devil and Pehom, and I will give you land enough, and by means of that, I will get you into my power, my captivity. So you have to explain this statement. Another statement, why should I suffer in this narrow hole? If one can live so well elsewhere, why should I suffer in this narrow hole? This statement is made by Pehom. After getting land from the lady, and this statement occurs twice and thrice in this story. So just mention the preceding things. After buying land from landlady and from merchant uh, from beyond the Volga, he was not at all contented and always considers his plenty of land as narrow hole and says if one can live so well elsewhere. Third sentence is but there is one condition if you don't return on the same day to the spot whence you started, your money is lost. So this statement is made by Bashkir chief and he tells the condition to the Pehom of purchasing land. So you have to explain all these three statements. Now here is the question of significance of the title of this story. How much land does a man need? How much significant is this title even in present context as well? Although the story was written in 19th century, in 1886, but this is very much relevant in present scenario as well because this evil or this greed of avarice or temptation to acquire more and more, like in present situation human being is even not at all contented of what somebody has, but in pursuit of being like so materialistic, one loses and ends his life without understanding the value of this precious life. So, according to the author, the answer of this question is 6 feet is all that Pehom wanted from head to feet, and this is very much relevant. This is all which we need finally when we depart from this world. So, the answer is hidden. Although the title is How Much Land Does a Man Need? But the question, but the title with question mark is answered to us in the very last line of the story. So thank you very much. I hope you got it. The narration is in third person and it like very the narration is very straightforward and open narration. The reader has to guess what he need to derive from this. So students, just answer or just write all the questions which I asked you to do in your notebooks, so that at the time of exams you don't like need to worry about the important things. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe. The same message every time.